They say that time is the great equalizer. Every person gets 24 hours in a day, regardless of position or power. We all have the same amount of time, but no one ever seems to have enough. How you use or manage your time can determine your success or failure in the workplace. Unfortunately, poor time management is the leading cause of reduced productivity in the world today.
Bob Peterson. Tom, how you doing? Yeah, I've got those notes. I think I've got them here somewhere. Right. Yeah, we can do that. Just have to find where it is. No, we can do it. Yeah, we can. Yeah, well, all right, 4 o'clock. Yeah. Wednesday? Oh, hold on a second. Let me see if I can find this. It's here somewhere. All right, here it is. I can't even read my own handwriting. No, Tom. I was just talking to myself. 4 o'clock Wednesday's fine. I'll have everything ready for you then. All right, thanks, man. Bye-bye. Nancy, hi. What's up? It's been a crazy morning.
I can tell. I came by to get that budget analysis. You said you had it for me yesterday.
I knew I was forgetting something. I have it. It's here.
Where's the third quarter?
What?
You have the first and 2 copies of the second, no third.
Incredible. Just incredible. All right, listen, can I have an hour or two? I'll get it to you before lunch.
Looks like time's getting the best of you, Bob.
Definitely. Now, once upon a time, I was given a book on time management, and I haven't had time to read it. Now, I can't figure out where to begin.
It's a fact. The pace of life today has changed. Information is distributed globally in seconds. Streamlined workplaces continue to increase goals and expectations. Still, there are only 60 minutes in an hour. In this program, we'll identify the time wasters that can take control of your workday. Recognizing and eliminating those time wasters is the first step toward increased productivity. We'll also demonstrate how planning and prioritizing your time are the keys to your personal productivity plan. Time is your most valuable asset. Today, you will learn how to more effectively manage your time.
I can't believe I didn't have that third quarter report.
Well, I really need that information, so hopefully you can have it to me by lunch.
How do you and your staff stay so well organized and efficient?
Good time management.
That's easier said than done. I know your plate's just as full as mine is these days. How do you do it?
Well, a meeting was canceled this morning. I'm free until noon.
Pencil me in.
Have a seat. Your first task is to identify time wasters. The first to consider is poor organization, which results in clutter and delays the location of files and other important information. You wind up handling the same pieces of paper over and over.
I know it's not in that pile because I just went through it this morning, so it must be in this stack.
Hello? Then there are interruptions. Telephone calls can interrupt meetings and disturb your train of thought.
I'll look into it.
Okay. We'll probably get the first one done.
What are you doing?
When we're done.
Oh, you you busy? What time are you getting off for lunch?
Drop-in visitors can also steal time you could spend completing important projects.
Yeah, my days have been full of interruptions lately.
Another time waster is the failure to delegate certain projects to others. You're a supervisor, Bob. Use those talented people you have working for you to lighten your overloaded schedule.
All
Is there
right.
anything you can do to help
Well,
me
I did
out?
the initial workup on this thing, so
Okay,
I basically know
what?
everything.
Oh, okay. Well,
Taking on too much yourself can create unnecessary stress, as well as rob others of opportunities to grow in their jobs and offer their input.
I'd like to get some ideas about what colors we should use on the index when we print our annual report.
And then there are meetings, the unnecessary kind.
Yeah, but this meeting's necessary.
Yes, this meeting is a good use of our time. Meetings usually are an effective communication tool, but unnecessary meetings can deplete hours and interrupt more important tasks.
After all, it is the annual report, and we deserve it.
But at the same time, I think we need to go with the same color as...
I've got to get out of here. I could be getting that marketing report finished. What a waste of my time.
Poor planning also wastes time. You can work yourself into a frenzy, but you won't accomplish much if you don't have a plan. Without clear priorities, important tasks can get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I've got the perfect example. My budget analysis. Yeah, I meant to finalize it yesterday, but somehow I just didn't get around to it.
Exactly. The final time waster? Procrastination. It's okay to think about and organize a project before beginning, but some people continually delay the start, waiting until the last minute to actually begin the work.
I can relate to that. I really need to start that budget analysis. I only got 45 minutes before lunch. The afternoon's booked. I'll get going on it first thing tomorrow. Yeah. Well, now that you've identified the key time wasters, and I'm sorry to say I'm all too familiar with most of them, what should I do about them?
Well, we've covered the easy part. Eliminating those time wasters may take a little longer. Let's start with procrastination. To avoid it, first decide if the task can be assigned to someone else.
Pam, got a job for you.
okay.
I'm trying to get the agenda ready for our quarterly meeting, and I need to have this budget analysis ready for Nancy and accounting. So, if you could tackle this audit schedule, it'd be a big help. Could you have it ready for me by tomorrow afternoon?
Sure. I'll get started on it right away.
Okay. Now, the first thing I want to make sure that we do here on budget... Delegating. That's exactly what I should have done.
If you can't delegate a job, divide it into smaller steps and create a game plan. Remember that one or more of these steps could be delegated also. Then start on the part of the work you dislike most, ending with the task you dislike least. You might even consider building in a reward for completing the project on time.
Like lunch at Frankie's?
Sure, whatever works for you. Now, when it comes to meetings, prepare an agenda and stick to it. Be sure that meetings you attend relate to you and your position. If someone can only attend a portion of a meeting, by all means, let them leave early and/or arrive late if it means they can invest their time more wisely. And when you attend meetings, make sure you arrive prepared. Stay on the topic and begin and end on time.
Poor planning is the most serious time waster of all. Goal setting and prioritizing can be your most effective time management tools. Putting your goals into a plan helps to control events, increases productivity, and permits you to lead rather than react.
My goals seem to set themselves. There's always just enough to do or too much to do every day.
You really need to set long and short-term goals for yourself to achieve the things you want to accomplish. I keep a list of my most important goals right here in my planner, and I refer to them almost every day. Now, next you have to determine the appropriate steps to reach your goals. These can be broken down into small projects and then daily tasks.
All right, which goals do you tackle first?
That depends. You'll have to carefully prioritize your goals. That helps you stay focused on results that really make a difference. Now, of course, you'll need to evaluate and update those priorities regularly. You know how quickly things can change around here. Daily planning can be as critical as long-range planning. Spending 10 to 15 minutes in the evening planning the next day will enable you to get a calm, coordinated start to your day. List items that must be conducted at certain times and schedule them according to your energy levels during the day.
I see what you mean. I usually feel better after I've had my first cup of coffee in the office. And after lunch, I'm ready for a nap.
Right, and it's important to be aware of that. Highest priority items should be handled during your best times of day. A good rule of thumb is first things first. Tackle the most important items in the morning, and don't forget to concentrate on one thing at a time. Switching gears frequently is not time efficient.
Well, I feel like I'm doing that now, but I just don't feel like I'm getting enough done, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
A good first step would be a self-audit.
An audit?
Don't worry, it's easy. All you need to do is write down a list of your activities for a typical week on a time log in 15-minute increments. Then analyze the log, checking for activities that can be shortened, eliminated, or delegated. You'll want to do this every few months or so to ensure that your daily activities are in line with your goals.
An audit? It's a great idea. Might be a real eye-opener.
I think you'd be surprised. The next thing you may want to evaluate is your planning tools. I like to use this desk planner, but there are many systems out there. You just have to find the one that works best for you.
I had this manager once who had this really unique system. He used those little stickies. Come to think of it, that system didn't work well at all. I like to use a to-do list.
To-do lists are fine. Just limit them to a realistic amount of items that you can complete during your workday. Block out the uninterrupted times for the tasks that require the concentration and prioritize your list. Now, it helps if you update your list nightly, keeping your energy peaks and valleys in mind. I found it also helps me to worry less, since I don't have to rely on my memory. And of course, calendars are a necessity. Record everything on it. Appointments, meetings, travel plans, lunches, social events, birthdays, and even anniversaries. Review this before listing your daily to-do items. Many people now prefer to use their computers for planning. There are a lot of software packages out there to help with scheduling, and it's a snap to reference information.
Now, I need to get organized so I can get a handle on this, and I suppose the PC would be a good place to start.
Well, you need to consider the portability.
I have a laptop now.
Oh, well, since you're not already attached to another system, that might be a good idea.
Now, about the clutter factor.
Office organization. It's next on the list.
Maybe I should take notes on this.
Keeping your desktop clean and free of clutter will save you a tremendous amount of time. Get in the habit of handling paper, even mail, only once. I always recommend the raft system.
A raft? Is this your way of saying I'm drowning in clutter?
It's an organization system. Refer the item to someone else if feasible. Act on it if it needs a response from you. File it if you absolutely will need it later. Trash it if you don't need it.
You mean recycle instead of trash, right?
Yeah, I guess I did, but now you've spoiled my acronym. Use a filing system that's simple yet effective. I like to use one for immediate top priority items and another for less urgent items. You want to keep your desk efficient. Phil even decided to use a telephone headset to free his hands. Speaking of technology, it can be a tremendous help in increasing productivity. Personal computers, faxes, scanners, voicemail, email, and being online can all save you a lot of time and energy.
That's true, but in my experience, it can sure use your time, too. Now that we have email, I think I spend way too much time reading my screen.
You have to treat email just like regular mail. Your delete button is your recycle bin, and you need to use those email folders just like files for anything you may want to refer back to in the future.
Excuse me. Nancy, will you be free later?
Anytime after 3 o'clock.
Great. I'll come back later. Sorry about the interruption.
That happens to me 10 or 20 times a day, but they usually come in and park.
One way to limit visitor drop-ins is to position your desk away from the door. This way you avoid eye contact with those passing by. You should also make your visitor's chair slightly inaccessible. This just helps them resist the temptation to park.
That makes sense.
I have a few other techniques.
Tell me more.
Well, standing up when someone enters will help keep the meeting short because no one likes to stand for more than a few minutes. Another idea, I usually put a note on my door letting people know when I'm busy.
Yeah, but sometimes employees really need to see me.
Then be sure to schedule a time to keep the door open. It often helps if you set a time limitation at the beginning of the meeting and stick to it, and you may even want to set a quiet hour, a time when everyone knows you are only to be disturbed for an emergency. Last thought on visitor interruptions. It could help to move the meeting to the visitor's office or to a common area in the office. This makes it easier for you to control the time you invest.
This is very helpful.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Phil.
I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about this invoice return system that corporate sent down to us.
Sure. How about 1 o'clock? I'll meet you in your office. We'll talk about it over lunch.
Okay, it works for me.
Okay.
When it comes to telephone interruptions, you can use your voicemail and/or a secretary to screen your calls. When you can, ask people to call you only during certain times of the day. Now, you can delegate some callbacks and call some back yourself during times when people are less likely to want to chat, like right before lunch or just before closing. And when you do, you want to have a list of the items that need to be discussed, stick to the point, and allow a certain amount of time for each call.
You know, delegation keeps coming up. It's one of my real weaknesses.
It's an important skill to have, Bob. In your case, you could ask your staff which tasks they'd prefer to tackle and assign the others, or delegate the others to people who can easily handle them. When delegating a task, remember to communicate the guidelines of the project clearly. Get their commitment, let them know that the project has value, provide necessary resources, assign authority, give them your confidence, and give them credit once they're done.
Okay, great, everyone. This should allow us to get everything done this week. Thank you all very much.
All these are great suggestions. I just don't know if I could ever catch up with my backlog enough to use them.
You will when you start using them, Bob, but you need to start now, today.
I'll do it. You've inspired me.
Good.
Thanks for these ideas. It's not as if I'd never heard them, it's just that I never used them.
Remember the 80-20 rule applies here. Concentrating your efforts on the critical 20% of your tasks will produce about 80% of your results.
Thanks, Nancy. Oh, hey, it's time to get started.
Good luck, Bob.
Thanks.
No one can control time, but we can control the way we spend each and every minute. This program explored the path to gaining that control, which can be so easily lost in today's hectic workplace. We identified the principal time wasters that occur in the workplace: poor organization and clutter, interruptions, failure to delegate, unnecessary meetings, poor planning, procrastination. We also explained how each of these time wasters can be eliminated to create a personal productivity plan and maximize every hour in your workday. Maintain a neat and organized workspace to increase efficiency. Use simple techniques to minimize and eliminate unnecessary interruptions by visitors and the telephone. Follow the guidelines on delegation to make sure that requirements are understood and the assistance is appreciated. Limit meetings to those who really need to attend and stick closely to an organized meeting agenda. Long and short-range planning is the key to effective time management. Select appropriate planning tools to organize and track the use of your time. Avoid procrastination by delegating or breaking projects into smaller, less daunting tasks. Your investment of 25 minutes today should net a return in endless hours of increased productivity. If you eliminate even a few of the time wasters identified, you will immediately notice the positive impact of efficient time management in your workday.